Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm talking Buddy, a movie that I had no expectations and somehow got really into it. So let's talk about it. He's a unicorn from a magic land. You can call his name when we need a hand. As you can tell, I've been listening to the song a little bit way more than I like to admit, but they're so catchy. All of the songs that the kids sing along with Buddy in the movie are very catchy, and they're going to be stuck on repeat in your head for days to come. I watched this on Monday at AMC's Scream Unseen, and today's Thursday, and they're still right here. So let's get into this review. Inside the colorful world of It's Buddy, a group of children spend their days singing, dancing, and helping Buddy spread happiness. But when one child refuses to play along, Buddy is not pleased, and the cracks begin to appear in this seemingly perfect world. Buddy is a horror comedy directed by Casper Kelly and stars Delaney Quinn, Kristen Milioti, Topher Grace, and Keegan-Michael Key as the voice of Buddy. So where to even begin with this movie? Because the marketing campaign was very ambiguous. It did not reveal anything. And honestly, that is the best way to go into this movie, because not knowing how the movie's going to play out is the best way. You're going to be pleasantly surprised and shocked by all of the twists and turns. So the way that the movie starts, the first act is the best part of this movie because it plays like 3 episodes in a row of a Buddy episode, right? So imagine you're watching Barney, if you grew up with Barney or Teletubbies or Blue's Clues or any one of those like children's show when you were little. Imagine you're watching 3 episodes in a row. It's just like that, right? You don't know how the kids got there. You don't have any answers. You don't know anything. All you know is that you're watching an episode. But in each episode, something happens where Buddy becomes a little bit more darker or sinister or meaner. And you're like, whoa, this is not like he's getting like a little bit evil here. And some of the kids, not all, start seeing the cracks and the fade in the facade of Buddy. And they start questioning if he is nice or not. And that's where the movie begins. And that first act is brilliant. It really takes you into that magical world of children's programming, but it gives it a twist into a darker place. And you're like, what's happening here? I was so captivated. Those first 30 to 40 minutes are the best part of the movie. So this year, we've been talking a lot about first-time directors hitting it big. Curry Barker with Obsession and Kane Parsons with Backrooms. I want to now add to the conversation Casper Kelly, the director of Buddy, because what he did here, I'm very impressed. The tone and the style and the concept that he brought to life, I loved it. It's so original and so fresh and incredibly unique. So this guy is someone that I really want to know what he's going to do next, because I believe I don't know how long ago, but a long time ago, he did a short film that apparently aired on Adult Swim in like Cartoon Network, and it was called Too Many Cooks. And it's the same concept as Buddy. He turned something wholesome into a darker thing, but instead of doing a children's show, he did sitcoms like Full House and Family Matters. I've heard people talk about this. I haven't seen it. I did not want to see it before watching Buddy because I didn't want to know what I was getting myself into. I wanted to go in blind, which is the best thing. If you haven't seen that short film, don't watch it. First watch Buddy and then go watch Too Many Cooks. I still haven't seen it myself. I should watch it because I want to see how he turned a sitcom into something more sinister. But again, this guy really impressed me. Let's see what he does next. I'm really excited for him. So a few of the things that I really liked about the movie. One, the world building. The movie looks absolutely stunning. All the colors of the children's TV show world really pop. The way they built the sets, they're so credible. It looks like you're watching an actual Barney show, but for Buddy. And I love the way it looks. One thing that I also really liked is when the kids leave the campground that they are on where Buddy lives, and they go explore what's outside of their walls. That world also looked really cool. It almost felt like watching The Wizard of Oz, but the children's version and a little bit more darker, right? Like scarier. And what they encounter outside is really creepy. There's a scene where there's a marionette style doll that they encounter, and that was creepy as hell, disturbing and unsettling. And it's played, the voice is done by Michael Shannon. When you see that scene, you're going to laugh so hard because it's funny, but at the same time, it's like, this is kind of disturbing, but in a funny way. And the biggest standout of the film here is Keegan Michael Key. The voice, that voice that he created for Buddy. Oh my God. If there is an award for best voice acting in Hollywood, it needs to go to him for this film. How he created the layers of a character that seems so sweet and so wholesome, and little by little, that voice starts becoming more dark, scarier, meaner, sinister, and evil. I mean, it was brilliant. You are going to fall in love with Buddy, even though he is the bad guy, because the way that Keegan Michael Key does the voice is so brilliant that the entire time you're so captivated on Buddy, and you're like, what is he going to do next? Like, he's evil and he kills these kids, and you're still like, what is he going to do next? I want to know more because of the performance and of the voice acting. It was brilliant. And the other star of this movie is the young actress Delaney Quinn. What a good performance from this young girl. And what I'm most impressed about is that she had to do so many things and run like all of these emotions during the film and capture the tone perfectly. Because again, she is trapped in a world of happy songs, or she has to be singing and dancing and capture all that like jolly and joy, but at the same time she has to also act scared, and like she's questioning the things and the world around her, and be afraid of Buddy and fight against Buddy. And for her to do that so perfectly and capture that tone of being humorous and comical and comedy, but also the terror and the horror of it all, this girl really impressed me. And what's really fun about this is that I looked her up and I saw her interviews. And when they asked her, are you a fan of Barney or kids shows? She's like, no, I don't watch that. I love horror movies. That's all I watch. And I'm like, I love her already. And the fact that she watches so many horror movies is why she was able to deliver such a good performance, because she knows these movies very well. And I'm sure she understands that in her head, but she knows what needs to be seen and how she needs to perform. I love this girl because, again, very talented and a very hard role and tone to hit. And she got it perfectly. When we get into the things that I didn't like, the movie does lose a little bit of steam after those first 30, 40 minutes of the opening act. When the kids leave the park that they are on and they go explore the woods and the forest, it kind of drops a little bit. They don't really explain much of anything in that part of the movie or of that world or what's even out there. You should see what they encounter, but there's no explanation or answers given. Something that I also didn't like is when they leave the actual TV world and they are in our human world where we meet Kristen Milioti. So Kristen has a role that I'm not going to spoil, but she is someone who feels like there's something missing in her life. She doesn't know what it is. And when she tries to talk about it with her husband, who is played by Topher Grace, he doesn't believe her. And I hate that they made the husband that typical horror movie husband who doesn't believe the wife and thinks the wife is crazy. I wish movies would portray husbands a little bit more supportive. But in this one, it's definitely that guy that you're like, I want to hit you, right? But she starts realizing there's something off here. And somehow, which I won't say, but it's one of the best moments of the film, is how she enters the TV and ends up inside of the Buddy show. It was really cool. I don't think I've seen anything quite like it. And the way that they pulled it up and the way that visually it looked, it was really nice to see how the CGI worked very well. However, my negative here is that Kristen Milioti, who's really good, a really good actress, I love her and incredibly funny, and she proved she can do drama really well in the Penguin show, completely underused. Man, She did absolutely nothing in this movie. I don't even know why she would have picked this movie to begin with. I looked it up. I wanted to see when she signed on to the movie, and Penguin had already come out. She had already been nominated for a Golden Globe. And usually, when you're nominated for a Golden Globe, a lot of offers start coming your way. So, if this is one of the offers that came her way after the success of Penguin and her Golden Globe nomination, we should have a talk with her agent, because this was a nothing burger as far as a movie she should have done. But anyways, she still does a good job, but not enough for what she is capable and what her talent is. But then one of my negatives is that the movie never goes there. He does kill the kids, but the way that he kills the kids is very, like, you never really see it. Very PG. You can't even call this movie PG-13, because it's just, you barely see anything. And that's fine, but I wanted the movie to be this wholesome, colorful world, and then the kills be very dark and gruesome, so that it will be jarring and kind of like, wait a second, I'm not supposed to have that in this kind of a film. So they never went there. So that's one of my biggest, negatives on the film. And my last big negative is that there's no explanations. The movie gives you zero answers as to what the hell is happening. You don't know what Buddy is, where he came from, who created him. You don't know what happens at the end either. There's a moment where the young main character, she ends up in like a school auditorium. She's running through a hallway with lockers, and you're like, where is this? Who is behind all of this? And they don't explain anything. So what I came to conclude from that is that Casper Kelly, the director, he knew he had a great concept. He took it as far as he could, and he just did not know where it was going to go, how to end it, and how to give it some more like substance, which is fine. It doesn't ruin the movie at all, because everything else, especially the beginning, is so brilliant and so good that by the end, not having the answers does not ruin your experience of the movie. So guys, that is my review of Buddy. I really had fun with this one. I kind of want to call it one of my favorites of the year, because it was so unexpected, and I really enjoyed the world that I was in while watching the movie. But at the end, sure, it has some flaws, but it's still hell of a fun ride. All right, guys, let me know what you thought of Buddy when you see it. Meet me in the comments below. And as always, let's make sure to keep it frank together.